The first thing that I remember is bombers overhead from the Allied forces when I was about 3.5 years old, 1944, and I still hear the hundreds of bombers going from the UK over northern Holland into Germany, bomb the German army infrastructure building alongside where Germany touches the North Sea. And my mom would take us outside on a flat roof behind our house because in the distance we could see the cities burning or the sky be red.
Wow.
The bombers overhead is still a sound that I still remember. The reason that she did is she felt safer outside than inside. And then the other part I remember is 1944. Hitler had decided to cut off all the food supply. So I remember my brother, my sister, myself, every morning we would go out into the rail yards with gunny sacks, pick up anything edible and burnable. And the reason we did as kids, because they wouldn't shoot us. And then the winter in 1944-45 was the coldest on record in Holland. And so I still remember sitting in this little room inside our house. It's a little bit of heating material that we had. Would anything burnable, we sit very close to be freezing in the back and burning in the front virtually. And it's amazing what you remember from those times, because there's always anxiety or stress of some sort or another, where they drag people out of their houses. Some of them would never come back, as we know, and going into concentration camps, the Jewish population of Holland in that region in particular, and others would get shot. So saw far too much that we should not have seen. That then being said, that's still part of my life even today, PTSD, the inner child. So the Canadians came in. I remember we were liberated by the Canadian Army as part of the Allied forces that landed in June of 1944 in Normandy between the United States, Canada, and the UK at great cost, started to liberate Europe, and that always stayed with me. Every morning when I get up, I look outside, and if there are people around me, I say, it's paradise. That's what I say every morning, because that's where we are. And the reason that I say it is that because I've seen the opposite. And in all fairness, without going into politics, I'm scared about what I saw then. We're moving back to something that I'm afraid of in terms of we've seen it all. History has a habit of repeating itself. I hope collectively that we are smart enough to know that war, potentially world war, can be devastating to everybody. And contrary to what some people may think, after war, that everything goes back to normal. It simply doesn't. It may take generations.